Hey, we'd like to take a minute to thank our sponsor, Isotope, makers of software and plugins for audio repair, mixing, and mastering. We use Isotope products here at the High Gain. It's an important part of how we've been able to bottle pure podcast gold week after week. And guess what? Isotope offers 1 free month of Music Production Suite Pro, which has all the tools you need to mix, master, and repair audio. Also, you can get 10% off all other software using the promo code FRET10. That's FRET10. All of this is at isotope.com, IZOTOPE.com.
Hey, this is Ed Peterson.
And this is John Kieltyka.
This here's the High Gain Podcast.
The High Gain Podcast about guitars, Ed.
Yeah, I can't wait. We're going to talk about guitars today, right?
Oh, man, are we?
Yeah. Where are we recording from, John?
Beautiful. West Seattle, Washington.
Oh, that's great. I think a lot of people have been migrating to West Seattle since we started this podcast.
I think so, probably because of this podcast.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It seems to be booming.
Very popular.
There's a lot of first floor commercial condoy residential above things going all up and down California Avenue.
Yep.
A lot of new buildings.
I can't imagine what would be happening around here if people knew exactly where the High Gain was.
I know, the High Gain Central.
Oh, man.
They'd be busting the door down.
I think so.
Yeah. That's a good-looking guitar you've got today, John.
It doesn't look like much, maybe.
I think it looks like a lot. I've always wanted a Rickenbacker, and I bought a Rickenbacker 360.
Yeah.
And I feel like that guitar you are holding is maybe what I would have bought had I not bought a Rickenbacker 360.
Really?
Something in that vein. Maybe a Gibson version. John's holding an Epiphone.
Yes.
Yeah.
An Epiphone Casino. And this particular example is 1963. American-made.
Great.
Casino.
Yep, it's beautiful.
The Casino has a crazy, rich history.
Rich history, guys.
We're going to get into it.
You know what we should do, John? We should get into it.
We should get into it.
Should we get this other thing out of the way first?
Beverages.
On the way here, we went to a Greek restaurant, Falafel Salam.
Yes, we did.
We got some falafels.
The history of the Epiphone
Yeah.
is Greek.
I had no idea about that.
Yeah.
I did not know that at all. So we got a little Turkish coffee.
Turkish coffee.
We got baklava.
Baklava.
Oh, my God. We should bust our baklava out.
You're probably wondering, viewers,
Yeah.
why did we get Turkish coffee?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you when we get to that point.
Oh.
There's a reason.
John got lemon baklava, and I got orange. I also got a falafel sandwich for lunch, and it was delicious.
Falafel Salam, those guys know their deal.
They do. West Seattle's own Falafel Salam. You know what you could do? You could come to West Seattle, get a little falafel, get a little baklava for dessert, maybe a Turkish coffee, then go right next door, buy yourself an Epiphone Casino at Thunder Road Guitars, because they're 2 doors down.
Yep.
You can just one-stop shopping.
And the coffee, this Turkish coffee,
Yeah.
I love the fact that it tastes like jet fuel. They make strong coffee.
I got a mouthful of
Baklava?
baklava.
Do you know any Greek phrases or anything Greek?
I like the Greek names, you know, the Dopolopoulos,
George Stephanopoulos?
that kind of thing. But there's a lot of those, right?
George Papadopoulos?
I don't know. Jet fuel? Really? This is a great little Turkish coffee.
No, I meant it as a compliment.
Yeah, it's lovely. Falafel Salam. Go pay them a visit.
Yeah.
We shout out every West Seattle business in a 3-mile radius, and none of them have any idea. Maybe they don't want to know. Maybe it's best if they don't know. I'm sure they're just getting flooded with people. Oh, we heard about you on the High Gain podcast.
And then those businesses go look us up and...
Please stop. Yeah. So, Epiphone, the Gibson 330 versus the Casino.
335?
335.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're real similar body styles.
Yeah.
Real similar.
They are. The main difference is that the 335 is a semi-hollow body. The Casino is a true hollow body. And it's got a P90 in it.
A single P90.
This one has a single P90.
It's got that gold finish to it, right?
No.
You know I'm colorblind, right?
Oh, that's right. Ed's colorblind, so he doesn't know that all the hardware on here is silver.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh. Normally, silver and gold, I can tell the difference, but...
My eyes are a lovely shade of blue, Ed.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Maybe it's the ambient lighting in the room today.
Well, it is pretty romantic.
It is. It's lovely here.
This is an E230T, if anybody cares about the model designation numbers.
What's the E stand for?
I do not know. Ed's looking at me like I have yet again disappointed him. So it's a really quick rundown here.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
a maple laminated top, thin hollow body, single P90 or two if you had that model.
Yep.
Adjustable bridge.
Yep.
A harp tailpiece.
Heart boy. Volume tone.
Single volume, single tone.
Floating pick guard thing with a little bracing on it.
Yep, that says E.
It's kind of a tobacco bursty.
Sunburst, maybe?
It's got some mother of pearl inlays. Our friend Alex at the High Gain Central, he laid some mother of pearl facts on us.
Yep.
I was up front in my, hey, is that really pearl from a shellfish? And John said, no, it's plastic.
That's what I thought.
I questioned.
Yep.
You just gave misinformation.
Once again. It's a good thing part of our mission statement is not to be overly factual.
Barely credible.
But thanks, Alex.
Yeah.
These poor shellfish.
Fuck. We've never done an Epiphone?
We have not.
Huh.
1873, Ed.
Okay, 1873.
Yep. You ever hear of Sparta?
Yeah.
Yeah. Our man Anastasios.
Oh, that's a good name.
Stathopoulos.
Stathopoulos. I think Jennifer Aniston's dad is maybe named like Anastasio. Because Jennifer Aniston, Greek as fuck.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt, are they like a thing again? That could have been a Ed in a grocery store seeing a tabloid headline. But have you ever heard the thing that the Greeks invented anal sex? You know about that?
I do now.
Yeah. I think what it is that from the historical record, they were just a little more open in their acceptance of what modern people would see as non-heteronormative behaviors. The Greeks were a little more like open, like, hey, you want to, like, what do you say? We do some fucking butt sex.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, come on.
Let's do it.
They got the Plato. They got the Socrates.
Guys with the big brains.
Yeah.
Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, that guy's great.
Yeah.
I think that funny people in general, very smart. I make a correlation in my brain between intelligence and quick humor.
Yeah, I could see that.
Plato, hilarious. All right, what else, John?
Okay, our man Anastasios from Sparta, Greece, decides to move.
Fuck it.
To Smyrna in the Ottoman Empire, now called Izmir in the land of Turkey.
I bet they got cool stuff there. Like the coffee we just had was delicious.
It was very delicious.
They got hella drugs over there.
They got some drugs, couple few. Yeah.
Okay.
When he got to Turkey, he starts making instruments. All kinds of Middle Eastern instruments.
Oh, the bottom of this thing is like a fucking tar pit.
That's what I'm saying. That sludgy jet fuel, man.
Oh, my God.
So, 1903.
Okay.
Anastasios. He's done with Turkey.
Fuck this place.
Yeah.
These Ottomans, do they wear hats?
As a matter of course, probably.
I picture it like that. I don't know, some woolly bullshit or...
Some woolly bullshit.
Go ahead.
Okay. He moves to the U.S. He moves to New York.
Oh, great.
Yeah, 1903, he decides he's going to go to Long Island City, which is in Queens, which is a borough of New York City. Yeah.
Okay.
To his repertoire, he adds mandolins.
Not guitars yet.
Not guitars, nope.
Okay.
Nope. And it's great. He's doing great.
Is he?
Yeah, until he isn't.
Is this the Epiphone brand?
No. The label on the instruments say the House of Stathopoulos.
Stathopoulos. Okay.
And he's doing great until he's not, because 1915, our man Anastasios Stathopoulos dies.
Oh, no. Was this a World War I related injury?
I'm going to say no. His son has to take over.
Okay.
His son at the time is 22, so he's kind of prepared. He knows some stuff.
He came over as a young child to the U.S. because if he's 22, it's 1915. They moved over in 1904. 38?
So, three?
Three. So 12 years earlier. So he would have been 10.
Yeah. So his name is Epiphone.
Yep.
He is now the ruler of the House of Stethopolis. Lost a dad, gained a company.
Seems like a great trade to me.
So in 1924...
So he's now a young man of 31 years old.
And he's doing the ouds and the fiddles and the lutes, and he adds banjos.
Steve Martin, he plays banjos.
He does.
Is he Greek?
Steve Martinopoulos.
Exactly.
Yeah. Post-World War I,
Yeah.
massive banjo craze in the U.S.
Yeah, you fucking kidding me? Steve Martin.
World War I's over, 1918,
Steve Martin banging out the hits.
He's ageless.
So banjos.
Yeah, he's making banjos. He's doing
Love
great.
it.
So well, 4 years later,
Okay.
he bags the House of Stethopolis. He shortens his own name, Epiphone,
To Epi.
adds the Greek word phone,
Oh.
and it becomes the Epiphone Banjo Company
Yes.
in 28. At that time, he adds another instrument,
Okay.
the guitar.
This guy.
They're doing the big jazz boxes.
Sure.
And they're giving them names like Emperor, Regent, Zephyr, and they were extremely well made.
Yeah.
To the point where they were competing neck and neck with Gibson.
Yeah, like that's the thing is that fucking guitar looks exactly like a Gibson.
Yeah, the quality was so good that people would show up to both the showroom and the factory itself
Yeah.
just to see what was going on, to try stuff out. In fact, a lot of Les Paul's early experiments were done at Epiphone.
Okay.
Our man Epi, with his marketing brain, was
great.
like, hey, these musicians have shown up to play some of the guitars,
Right.
and to look around the factory and to experiment with stuff. Let's put the place where they do that closer to the sidewalk. Then people passing by
Oh my God.
can stop and watch and get
my
excited about the guitars.
This guy, that's great.
Yeah.
It's moving the tabloids right next to the cash register. John's playing some jazzy kind of music on this guitar. I like it when he does that. Do a little. Thank you.
They're really going head to head with these guitars, and some of the examples are really wild, and they do that for like the next 15, 20 years.
Okay, 28 is the first guitars. They're doing 15 years of this thing.
Yeah. And people are playing them in orchestras and stuff. And there were some solo dudes like Arthur Guitar Boogie Smith. His big hit was called Guitar Boogie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good stuff, huh?
It's not really my thing. Historically, I like that you can tell that that thing was recorded way back in the oldie days.
That was 1945.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I don't like?
What?
People still playing guitar and making it sound like that. Yeah. Yeah. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, I'm leaving.
Okay.
So, that's great until it isn't.
Oh no, not Epi.
Yeah, Epi. 1945, he dies.
Yeah. I was just trying to do some math and figure out, is Epi still going to be around in 63? It didn't look good for him.
Epi should have been around in 45. He wasn't that old a man. He died of leukemia.
Oh no.
Yeah. So the company gets kind of squirrely after that because it's post-World War II.
Okay.
In 1951, there's that worker strike.
I have a feeling we're going somewhere.
Yeah, we are. Because of that strike, they have
Yeah.
to move to Philadelphia.
Philadelphia is not where I thought we were going.
I got to rewind a little bit.
Okay.
When we talked about Guild,
Sure.
our man Guild,
Jimmy Guild.
Jimmy Guild was friends with one of the Epi dudes. And when this strike thing happened, all the workers in New York were like, well, fuck you. I'm not going to Philadelphia.
Fucking Philly?
A lot of them ended up at Guild.
Philadelphia's below me.
Don't tell that to Rocky.
Stallone, is he Greek?
Stallonopolis.
Stallone and Nakalakalo?
So 51, they moved to Philly. It's
Yep.
kind of weird. Everybody knows Epi's dead. Everybody knows they've had these labor problems, and so the company is vulnerable. Gibson has since been sold to CMI, the Chicago boys.
Yep.
So now CMI, they come for Epiphone, and they buy them. Now Epiphone and Gibson are under the same roof.
Yeah.
They're both owned by the Chicago boys in 57.
The 57 Chevy, a lot of people like that car.
Yeah.
I do not. Probably because everyone likes it. I dislike
Yeah,
it.
it's a good thing you're not contrarian. And so now CMI owns them and Gibson. Imagine the discussions there. wait, I got to work with those dudes?
Yep.
Their guitars suck. Your guitars suck.
Sure.
61.
Yeah.
This guitar, the
Yeah.
Epiphone Casino debuts. It was not the only thinner hollow body guitar they made. I got some blues for you, Ed.
You know I love it.
I know you do.
Oh, sure.
This is John Lee Hooker.
Yeah. Yeah. Right?
I love the vocals, his voice.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Gonna shoot you right down. Right off of your feet. Take you home with me. Put you in my house.
You know, I've said it before. Any kind of modern blues I dislike.
Because that's so good.
Because that's so good, I don't really need people doing that today.
There are exceptions, but they're few and far between, perhaps.
Who's the blind guy that plays on his lap?
Jeff Healey?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, and
John Lee Hooker.
John Lee Hooker died
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Okay, who starts picking these things up then in 61?
The Beatles.
Yeah. Do you want to know a fact?
Yes.
The Epiphone Casino
Yeah.
is one of only two guitars, the other one being an Epiphone acoustic,
Yeah.
that was used on every single Beatles recording session.
Great.
We'll get to the Beatles, but you know the Kinks? Mm-hmm. 1965.
Okay. We can just call the episode. You know what I mean? I'm done. I don't need to hear any more examples. That's great. I love it.
This is also 65.
Wow. Yeah. This is a casino?
It is.
It's the chimey guitar.
Those cats liked it because of the P90s.
Playing through a vintage Proco Rat today. That's great.
Yeah. Paul McCartney was the first one to get one of the Beatles. They actually all had them.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney got his first.
Okay.
And based on that, George and John were like, let's each buy one.
Sure.
So in 1966, they did that.
On this podcast,
Yeah?
I shoot from the hip a lot. I say the occasional controversial sort of opinion or whatever.
Uh-huh.
This is one of those.
Yep.
The Beatles?
Yep.
They wrote some real good songs, John. I like the Beatles.
These guitars became closely associated with them almost
Yeah.
as much as the Rickenbackers
Yeah,
were.
yeah. I don't know if I would have been able to say, oh, the Beatles, that's the Epiphone Casino. But I knew they played the hollow body.
Right.
You know.
A lot of people
totally.
think John had more than one.
Yeah.
He actually didn't. He had this Sunburst one.
Yep.
In the 60s, there was a school of thought saying the whole finish on it impedes the tone from coming out through the wood, man. What you need to do is strip that finish off.
So he stripped it.
So he stripped it down.
Yeah.
Same guitar.
I wonder where that guitar is today.
Good question.
There's the Seattle Mopop. It used to be the Experience Music Project, which
Yeah.
is Paul Allen's museum here in Seattle. There's a ton of super famous guitars in that place.
Yep. And so it continues, Ed.
Okay.
1968.
That's the year I was born.
You say you want a revolution. Well, you know.
You know how they
Right.
got that sound?
They cut the speaker
Directly into the board
and
and
jacked it.
slammed it.
Weird. So at this point, they're owned by CMI, owned by Gibson. They're part of the same umbrella.
You are following along, aren't you? Because you know what's going to happen.
Maybe.
The Norland boys, they cease U.S. production of all Epiphone models. Shit goes overseas.
In 69?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
There has not been a U.S. made Epiphone since 69?
Yeah, if you want what's considered kind of like the height of their powers, pre-69, pre-Norland takeover, American made,
Yeah.
you're probably going to get something pretty nice. This thing's fantastic. I really like the sound of this.
Any of that Kalamazoo stuff is just killer.
So maybe because Norland takes over
Yeah.
Epiphone,
Yeah.
that just kind of bums out the Beatles. So in 1970, they break up. The whole concert on the roof, it's their last time together. They record the album.
I've got a feeling deep inside. Oh yeah,
Yep.
Yep.
that's right.
I think actually both John and George were playing their casinos on this song.
I can't hide.
Two casinos. And then when they kick in, it's a little distortion.
Oh no.
That's killer.
I've got a feeling.
Yeah, again, with the controversial opinion,
Yep.
the Beatles are pretty good guys.
Okay, so the context we're talking about these guitars in
Yeah.
starts with the jazz cats in the
Yep.
20s and 30s and all of that. And
Sure.
there was no lack of stars there. Count Basie, Tommy Dorsey, Frank Sinatra Orchestra, all that kind of stuff. Those were the heroes
Sure.
back then, and the name was Epiphone. Fortunately for them, into the 60s, the Kinks, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles.
Sure.
So, how much of what came after this then into our time do you think was about that mystique versus the guitar itself?
Man.
I want this
Like-
guitar because the Beatles played it, or I
Oh.
want this guitar because it's fucking awesome and it sounds great.
Boy, Gibson did that brand so dirty that from here on out, there's the stink of the Gibson era Epiphone on the brand.
It's kind of a cynical move, who won that argument. The ES335 team is saying,
Yeah,
hey, boss, you got to do
Right.
something about this.
exactly.
Well, ES335 team, would it make you happy if we just took all those casinos and moved them overseas?
Yeah, right.
Works for me. How about
Right,
you, Epiphone dudes?
Eat it.
P90s in a hollow body on the Epiphone versus some kind of humbucker in a
Right.
semi-hollow body on the Gibson.
It would totally be an A/B thing, but I bet that casino into some screamer amp, it is
Yeah.
probably just a head ripper. Yeah. All right.
It's really well made. The set neck, it's got
Yep.
parallelogram inlays, mother of pearl. It's just great.
The Heroes played it because it was a killer guitar. George Harrison would not have played a casino because Paul had one. He
Yeah.
played it because it was a killer guitar.
Even John Lennon into his post-Beatles solo career, it's just John Lennon with the casino. Mm-hmm. Speaking of John Lennon, 81, I believe.
George Harrison.
Oh, yep.
Yep. We got Ringo. We got Paul.
So there's that.
Yeah. Hey, come on.
You know Paul Weller?
I do.
His days in the Jam, he was all about the Rickenbackers. Post-Jam, into his solo career, he's been about the hollow bodies. His solo album, Wildwood, he's playing a casino.
Okay.
This is a really good song.
Is it?
Yeah.
What year is this?
93.
Huh.
Hear that? The great crunch tone he gets out of it?
I hear it. That song could be from 93 or
Yeah.
it could be from 63. I would not have been able to put that into a period.
You know the White Rabbits? That's some of our Brooklyn hipster brethren.
Yeah,
We should name a band of Brooklyn hipsters.
generically the Brooklyn hipsters. White Rabbit, if you're listening. We got your number.
Epiphone Casino.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you know those Brooklyn boys. The bass should not come in until it has to.
Yeah.
I think that's a rule. Better still, don't have a bass player.
Oh, that's good.
You talked about you don't like the dudes playing blues these days because fuck them, the old guys did better. There is one cat. This guy's from Memphis. His name is Gary Clark Jr.
Okay.
He's played with hip-hop groups, things
Oh,
like that.
okay.
He puts that kind of spin on it. He has a signature Epiphone casino. This is called Grinder.
Okay. This is not blues.
Listen to it.
when I disparage modern blues players, I'm not talking about this. Because this is not that. This is a very modern interpretation.
I know what you're saying. The people that are like, oh no, I'm going to play the old-timey blues.
Yeah, fuck you.
The context is a little wrong.
Yeah. So you got anything else on this here casino? Yeah, don't do that.
That's about it, because the story gets the same as it is across seemingly every brand.
Yep.
Any number of reissues, any number of foreign factories, model numbers and different appointments. But I think the heyday for this instrument was a short amount of years. 61 it comes out, 69 it goes overseas. 8 years.
Yeah. Go pick one of those up, and yeah, you won't be sorry.
Yeah.
Pick up a modern Epiphone casino. You might be sorry.
You might be. Might be a little sorry.
You know, but you'll probably pay a small fraction of a percentage of what you would pay for one you love. But, you know, maybe you're that kind of guy. Maybe you're all about the... I don't know what your deal is. I don't know what your fucking deal is, dude. You know, go buy a 65.
If you want to buy this actual guitar, you can.
Yeah,
you can go to thunderroadguitars.com and look at it.
Yep.
You can go to Thunder Road Guitars in person and buy it.
Yeah, and then go to Falafel Salam and get yourself a little coffee, get a little baklava.
Yeah.
Tell them John and Ed sent you.
I think Epi would be proud.
Epi would love it.
Yeah.
Pride of Greece. Would you say that? Does that seem fair? The brand Epiphone is the pride of Greece.
I might say that.
Yeah.
But there are so many things to be proud of.
Jennifer Aniston.
Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah.
George Stephanopoulos.
Sure. Onassis.
Aristotle.
Onassis, you know?
So many prides of Greece.
Yeah.
You can't keep track.
A pride of lions.
Yeah.
That's a thing. A pride of Greeks.
Yep. That is the gist of this guitar.
I love it. Let me just say, Greece,
Uh-huh.
looking pretty appealing right about now.
All right, should we wrap this up?
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
You have been listening to the High Game Podcast with that Ed with his French shirt over there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the John with his Jilly Rizzo t-shirt.
Yep.
And his Epiphone Casino from ThunderRoadGuitars.com.
Yeah.
Or in person in lovely West Seattle.
Yeah, you guys should all look us up wherever you find your podcast.
Yeah, leave a review on the iTunes.
Yeah.
We've got a couple, but we could use a couple more.
Yeah.
Apparently it bubbles us up in the algorithms with the various machine learning things and whatnot. You know?
Tasty algorithms.